So we have the Kerrisons. Like I said, it's gonna work like a pituitary or the rongeur, except it takes smaller bites. So that you'll usually get a set of 5 of these or 4 of these. So you get like, so this is the 5mm Kerrison, which is how thick it is, like this. So usually you'll get like 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So and usually it seems like they use the 3 and the 4 more than anything. And these are the same thing as the rongeur, like I said last week, where when they're using this, you just want to have a lapper or Raytec to clean it off as they're using it. So you take the pieces of bone and stuff.
Yeah.
And every time you get it back, another thing you want to make sure of is, see how there's this channel on the inside? That little channel right there?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times that'll get like bone and tissue, in it as they're using it. So you want to clean that out after when they're done using it and you get it back. To make sure that doesn't get stuck on them. So in order to clean that out, one thing you can use is the nerve hook. You can use it to kind of scrape it out here. Like, see, there's a piece of that in there. So you can scrape it out with the nerve hook, or you can also use the same thing to scrape it out, a towel clip. So use the pointy end of the towel clip to scrape that. And if you've cleaned it out and it's still kind of, like, see how this one's kind of sticking? They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't stick like that. You can flush it with a syringe in the back here. So that'll get, if there's anything in the middle that's kind of gunking it up, you can hopefully flush it out with that. And
What's that called again?
Kerrison. It's a 5mm Kerrison rongeur. Yeah, so it's a Kerrison. And they'll just ask for, like, let's say, 4 Kerrison, or 3 Kerrison, or 5 Kerrison. So that's what, when they're asking for something, that's what it'll be. And one other thing to make sure of is there's always a screw on these, like somewhere in this area. They're not all the same. When you get it, make sure that screw is tight, because sometimes they come loose as they're being used, and you don't want to lose that screw. Because that won't be good.
That would be bad.
So yeah. So Kerrisons, pituitaries, bayonet forceps. That's the other thing to know. One other thing. Bayonets. For spinal procedures, they'll use these. Remember the cottonoid patties, like those little neuropatty things? Yeah. They'll use those in your kidney basin with like a mixture of thrombin and saline. They'll be soaked in, and they'll grab the patties with bayonets, and they can put those onto any areas that are bleeding to control that. So that's what bayonets will be used for mainly. And the last thing is Gelpi retractors. So it's kind of like a wheat lantern, except with a single tooth. It's just something to know.
They use it in the spine most often.
Yeah, a lot in the spine. Yep. When they're doing their initial dissection down. So they'll, depending on where they're working, they'll make an incision. Let's say it's like a 3-level laminectomy. They'll make an incision from here to there, up here, and then they'll use that to open up their incision and keep it open while they're working.
Yeah.
So, yep, wheat lanyards, Gelpies, they'll use a lot of those, but Gelpies is the one. So the 4 things that could possibly be quizzed on are Gelpies, the bayonet forceps, the Kerrisons, and the pituitaries. So, yeah, that's the stuff to really know out of the laminectomy tray.
Now, where's the style-less bone cutter?
Bone cutter? Yeah. I'm just gonna set this over. Is it out here? No. Where's that big bone cutter? What is that?
Can you box it?
Oh, there it is. That's it. Yeah, bone cutter. Yep.
Might that be a quiz one?
Oh, I don't think so. She didn't mention it, so, but yeah, just no. This
Pretty
is what bone.
distinctive though.
Which one is
Can't
that?
put
That's what bone cutters
That's
look like. They look like
straight
wire cutters.
style.
But bone cutters.
Well, the
Less
style
bone
lure you
cutter.
said was
That's the rongeurs. There's one.
that one.
And
So
they're
that's,
angled. No, they're not
Okay.
going to be, but
so that's
angled
the
and straight.
angle and straight.
Those are double
Yep.
action.
Yep, they all are. All these are double action.
Okay.
Yep.
Are these the bone cutters?
Those are. Yep.
So like what would those be? Like I know, like what they do, but like what would be like the proper?
I think
Yeah, I know
puree
what you
meaning
mean. Full function.
deboning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
debulking. Yes,
debulking.
Okay, I
debulking.
wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it was like
Yeah,
the
that was-
same.
I forgot.
And
That's
then
what we said.
what would this?
So
I mean, that's the hook.
that one
the
I
nerve
haven't figured out. I would say probing because that's what it's used for. Like probe, it's a nerve hook. It's used to like probe for nerves and stuff like that. So that's what I would say.
You said rungers are for cutting and.
Bone cutting, just bone cutting. Bone cutting.
The same with the bone cutter. Bone cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Those bayonet forceps are just gonna be what?
Dressing
drafting,
all that.
like-
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, it's not as neat as.
You don't even want to look at my hand.